What's up, Cold Hour fam? Episode 9 here. We're going to be talking about generations.
Nine.
We're going to get started. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for listening.
This is the Cold Hour.
What's good, Cold Hour fam?
What's up?
We're out here. Episode 9, and we're talking about generations.
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Is that what we are? Are we Gen Z?
We are. I think you're a millennial. I think I'm a Gen Z.
I'm a millennial. So I'm 95. I was born in 95.
Mm-hmm.
And this page is saying Gen Z. So.
Oh, you're.
Yeah,
is
so
it 95?
Yeah, I have a page that says which generation are you, and it goes like from 1890 to like 2025. And so ours is Gen Z, but get this, it also has iGen, like the Apple I, like
Okay.
iPod.
Yeah.
It's like that. So that's our generation too, is iGen.
Wait, where's Gen Z then?
It's also Gen Z. But
Wait, so are we iGen and
we're
Gen Z?
iGen or Gen Z.
Does iGen refer to like
The
iPhone?
Apple, yeah,
Ah.
the technological craze that's going on, dude. I mean, isn't that crazy? Like we're living through like such a high technological advance, like currently, and it's just been going on. We're just kind of like living through it.
Yeah, we're the first technological generation. You and I specifically are the ones who lived through an era where there wasn't technology like centered in our lives to where it's everything in our lives.
I can remember when like the iPod and iPhone came out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
to think about.
Yeah.
And now it's like I mean, it's still booming, and it'll always be like crazy, but the smartphone came out in our generation.
The first smartphone I ever witnessed was the BlackBerry.
Oh yeah, I remember the
BlackBerry was the first one I saw, and then I remember telling my as a I got something in my mouth. I got a hair in my mouth. But as a I want to say 10-year-old, I saw the BlackBerry. Like a family friend of ours had it, and I was playing around with it, and I was telling my dad, I was
the
like,
rolling ball.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So, cool.
So I remember like explaining to my dad that like what if we could access the internet on this thing, and it like that was like blowing our mind, you know? I was like,
oh man, that's not even possible.
Exactly.
Did you ever like? I had an old Razor, and you could like get on the internet, but I remember like getting on the internet
it wasn't even the internet.
Impossible.
Like it was like you could go on like 2 websites.
Exactly.
That was
if
it.
that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy.
And it was slow as hell. It'd take you an hour to get on one website.
And you couldn't do anything on it. Like you couldn't really like play YouTube. Like you couldn't watch YouTube on a little flip phone or even a BlackBerry. It's still kind of like whatever.
Well, think about that impact it's had on our generation. The fact that like internet's so quick now, that like it's created this ADHD culture where like if your phone takes 5 seconds to load Instagram,
what's
you're
wrong with my
pissed.
phone? Yeah, what's
you're
wrong with my
pissed.
phone?
Yeah.
What's going on with the internet? Is something broken?
Wi-Fi's down. Something's going on.
Exactly.
If it takes 5 seconds for me to log into Instagram,
that's too long.
Something's wrong.
That's too long. Too long. I can't even wait. But yeah, it's pretty crazy how that's iGen. I thought that was really interesting.
Wait, so are iGen and Gen Z the same thing?
Yeah, they're the same thing. So iGen and Gen Z, just for you guys listening, it goes from 1995 to 2012. Those are the people within iGen or Gen Z, which is the same generation as our generation. The next generation, which is born in 2013 through 2025.
There's already a next generation?
Is Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha?
That's what they have.
Wait, what years are it?
That's 2013 to 2025. The one before us.
But how are they predicting it? Like,
that's
that's the thing. What are they basing that off of?
I have no idea, because it goes from the names are pretty cool. From 1890, it goes the Lost Generation, or the generation of 1914. That was 1890 through 1915. That's the generation. And then the next generation.
That's called the Lost Generation?
The Lost Generation.
Is there a reason why?
I'm sure if I scroll down, they give us some notes as to why each one is each one.
I'll look into that. What follows that?
This is what follows the Lost Generation, or what?
Yeah, what follows the Lost Generation?
Is the Interbellum Generation, which is from 1901 to 1913.
Oh, that's still pre-industrial revolution, right?
Yeah, that's still way back, way back.
The wars haven't even hit then.
it's interesting because they have like blends of generations, like 1890 to 1915. That's the lost generation, but then 1901 to 1913, which is in between the lost generation, is the interbellum generation.
Interbellum. Okay, and what defines that?
Again, I have no idea yet until I scroll down, but I was just listing off the different names.
Okay, so after interbellum,
then it's the greatest generation.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that's 1910 to 1924. The youngest that's still pre World War II, right?
Yeah.
Okay. World War II ends in 33, I want to say. Fact check that, but the greatest generation is 1910 through 1924.
1910 to 34. Okay.
24. And the Depression doesn't hit until 32, 33, somewhere around there, and that's when you get into World War II. Mm-hmm. So World War I probably just ended right now.
Okay.
At 1910.
But did World War I affect the States as much? I think it was more towards
it wasn't as hard on the United States, but
it was defining in Europe.
It was defining in Europe, and it caused a lot of I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't fucking know.
We got
It's World War I. Fucking
World War II was the one that mattered.
World War II is the one that I remember more so because you.
Well, the U.S. played a bigger role in that one.
Yeah, that's where the U.S. became a superpower. It came out becoming a superpower. So.
Well, then, after that was Cold War, right? Yeah, that was like the last great war we had. Was the Cold War.
That wasn't even a big physical war. That was more like a theoretical war. Like, it's almost like two guys flexing on each other. Not swinging, but flexing.
I get what you're saying. Exactly.
So it's like it was like that. So that was the greatest generation from 1910 to 1924, and then the silent generation was next, which is from 1925 to 1945. And then you got the baby boomers, who we're dealing with now, who's clashing with our generation and the generation before us. That's from 1946 to 1964.
Okay.
So that's
still not my parents, though.
No.
My parents were born... Wait, you know what? No, just kidding.
My parents were born in 72 and 74.
I think our parents were born in the 70s then. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's when my parents were born. And that's Generation X.
Gen X.
Gen X.
Okay.
That's Gen X. That's 1965 to 1979. Then you have Zennials, which is spelt with an X.
So pre-millennials?
Pre-millennials.
Zennials.
Which is 1975.
Who the fuck comes up with these names?
I have no clue. I kind of want to be the guy who comes up with them.
I want to be part of the committee.
We should be the new committee.
Yeah, we should.
You know what? Fuck whoever's doing this. We're the new committee.
We are the committee.
We're the committee.
Fuck your iGen.
Cold Hour is now the committee.
Yeah. We
Give us some names as to what you think we should name this generation, our generation. I think iGen is pretty cool. Gen Z is not too bad.
I think that's crazy too. Like let me speak on this. Is like the fact that we can become the power to where we're the ones that determine that. Like that's how much power iGen or Gen Z has. Definitely. You know, like we have that much influence. Anyone has the influence to make that. Like if we started a petition and we can go online, create a petition that says make Cold Hour the official namers of each generation,
and it would happen,
and we would be those people.
We would be the people. I don't know if I want that responsibility.
I don't. If I'm being honest, there's more important things to do.
But that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's possible.
We can.
I think that's what's really crazy about this generation.
Well, that's the beauty of this generation is that anything's possible. Like the internet has, not only in the States, not only like in America, but like worldwide. It's connected the entire world. There's some countries, some continents that are further behind, but nonetheless, they're going to get to a point where everyone's going to be an equal player in this world.
I think the craziest part about it is just the fact that we can talk to two different, like, I can talk to somebody else across the world at the same time, be in two different time zones, and have like a normal conversation as if we're in the same room.
Well, as we speak, this is our debut
the whole
of
world.
The internet. We are broadcasted into the entire world.
You couldn't do this 10 years ago. 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
10 years ago is the same thing. Anyone too. Like anyone with access to a laptop, internet, and not even just that, a laptop and internet, you can debut yourself to the entire world.
I think that's insane because it happened like it was overnight. Like these revolutionary
it was quick
advances.
And the crazier thing is how accustomed we got to it.
Oh yeah,
we're so normal to it.
Adapted to it. I mean, these things live with us. I mean, we have these in our pockets like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing could easily blow up.
It's a computer.
I don't know how it doesn't blow
up. The FBI is listening to us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that happen with technology that I think we don't truly understand, but we're comfortable with it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the most insane part about us is that we're just going on with it. We're going to go along with it.
It's like that one Orwell book. What's it called? 1984.
Oh yeah, I never read
where
it.
he predicts the future. I
read Brave New World.
I didn't read
which
that one.
Was different.
Is that by Orwell as well?
No, it's by somebody else, but I don't remember who it was by.
Well, anyways, he back in, I think it came out before 1984. I think
but
it's
it was
from
like Big Brother.
It's Big Brother is like the propaganda that they promote. So it's like basically their Uncle Sam or like the Soviets like. What's the sickle and hammer type of thing?
Okay.
Like it's just an idea. It's a propaganda. Right. So the idea is that Big Brother's watching, and right. I mean, if we're not being oblivious, if we're really looking into this fact, Big Brother's watching us. Like the fact that my phone can listen in at every moment to listen if I say, "Hey Siri," it's picking up every audio signal at every given time.
One. Yeah, every single one.
It's insane.
It is. I mean, Edward Snowden brought it up with the NSA, talking about how the government has some secret spy thing in each thing that has a camera that's looking at you every single second of the day. Yeah. It makes sense.
Who's to say just because we tell the computer not to use the camera that they can't tap in without like letting us know?
So? Like
exactly.
Now I say so.
Yeah. They have control, bro. We've let not only Big Brother's watching, but we've let Big Brother into our house.
Oh yeah. No, definitely.
That's
everywhere.
Insane.
Everywhere. And
that
these
is
things
insane.
Are like, I mean, there's cameras on your laptop, which is normally open, and TVs. Even they even say like smart TVs nowadays have that because they have voice activated compatibility. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I mean, crazy. If I'm being honest, it doesn't. I don't care. I'm indifferent.
No,
like
it doesn't matter. If they really want to listen to me, go ahead. I'm not hiding anything. I mean, you're gonna bore yourself to death.
Yeah.
It's what they want to do. They want to do that, then they want to do that. I think that's the scariest thing is that if they really wanted to, they could.
Agreed.
And what safeties do we have against that? Not much.
It's more of an ethical problem, not really like a physical. I don't feel physically threatened, you know?
No, not at all.
It's just like
when you start to think about
invasion of my privacy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Where we leave off? Zennials, I think it was Zennials.
Zennials, correct.
The next is millennials, which is Gen Y or Gen Next.
Those are the 80s babies?
Those are 80 babies, 80 to 94s. And then we get into our generation, which is iGen or Gen Z, which is 95 to 2012. And then you have Gen Alpha, which is 2013 to 2025.
Why are they Gen Alpha? Fuck them.
That's weird.
That's the generation after us.
Yeah, they didn't want to use letters. I mean, they ran out of letters.
They got lazy.
They got the Greek alphabet now.
Alpha?
They're going to go alpha,
okay,
beta,
but
gamma.
they couldn't start with like Zeta or something, or
go backwards.
Yeah, I think the generation after us doesn't deserve that title. It's too cool. Gen Alpha.
I don't know. I think that's gonna be a different. It's gonna be. I mean, you think about it. What comes after this?
It's difficult. It's difficult
after all this technology.
Because Gen Alpha knows nothing of the world without internet.
Right.
They only know the world with all this connection, all the phones. Like they've grown up with their parents taking pictures of them since they popped out of the womb.
Exactly. And pictures on smartphones.
Exactly.
Like
they've been
Polaroid, you know, or even like a disposable camera.
They don't know what that is. They don't know what that is.
An LED screen with pixels and fucking HD
access
cameras.
To be uploaded to everyone and everyone on the world.
Everything is at the palm of their hand.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why I guess they say they're so entitled, is because everything is literally given to them.
Now, is that their fault?
No. I don't blame them for it. Just like I don't blame the baby boomers for, you know, being old and not understanding it. Because it's just it's like different time zones. You know? If somebody comes in and is tired from a different time zone, like they're normally used to going to sleep at their 8 o'clock, which is like my 1 o'clock, they're going to be tired around my 1 o'clock. But I don't blame them for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the same sense. I mean, it does, like, I expect them to get it. You know, I expect them to, you know, not step down, but adapt and be open to understanding it. But at the same time, like, I don't know who has that,
who has the say?
Time. Yeah, who has that say and who has that amount of time to, like, learn something new? Because I think for us, getting technology isn't that difficult. I mean, setting up the webcam. We had some trouble setting up the webcam. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it was bad. It
wasn't bad.
I've gone through
bad struggles. Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. Not at all. But I think our age and our generation is able to take on that challenge of, you know, figuring shit out, you know.
Well, to touch up on this, I don't remember where exactly I heard it, but I heard something along the lines that our generation, Gen Z, is the first generation to know more than the prior generations.
More about what? Just
everything.
Wow.
Because we grew up on the internet. So like with any question, like think about how many times you've had to help your parents or grandparents with their technology.
Oh yeah.
You know, like it used to be in a vice versa type of situation where it used to be the younger generations asking for like wisdom and all these people, you know, but now we get it from the internet. You know, like tell me how much you've learned from the internet.
I can't even tell.
Exactly.
I can't even start to tell you.
Yeah.
Because
Google.
You learn something new every day.
Hell yeah.
If you even touch the internet.
Yeah.
Anything. I mean, Instagram, you learn something new. Twitter, you learn something new. Just social media.
Up to date.
In general.
Yeah. Up to date all the time.
Exactly. I think that's crazy because whoever had that? I mean, you had to go to the library, if anything, get a newspaper to figure out what was going on in the world. If you wanted to know. You know, well, now it's in our face.
Now I tell my parents about news that goes on in Colombia before they even know.
Exactly.
And they're from there, you know? Yeah. I'm not, like, I follow world news very loosely. Right. It's not like I'm super into it, following it, like, every hour by second. Like, it's just casually comes up my feed. I'll bring it up to my dad. Oh, did you hear about what happened in Bogota today? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that happened, and he'll look into it. And I'm just like, I casually browsed the internet and found that.
You're just kind of wondering what's going on. Hey, what's going on in Colombia today?
Exactly.
And I think what's crazy is that in a split second, you can make a decision and figure out what you want to know.
Yep.
Which is crazy. But at the same time, there's this almost looming procrastination that you don't want to do it.
Okay.
Like it takes too long.
It's work. It's work.
Yeah. Even that's work. Like even searching, you know, I'm typing keys. Like all I have to do is turn on this magical black box, and it tells me answers that I just type in. You know, Google tells you everything.
You can,
but even that's too much.
You can learn how to make a bomb. On there, and honestly, I want to learn how to make that, but I've just been too lazy to look into it.
Don't even want to Google it. Yeah, YouTube it. It's too much to type. Yeah, too much to type.
Yeah, it's work.
It is,
and it's crazy because like. Think about back in the day. Let's say, like, how much quicker would we have progressed through time if we had like access to all of this? You know, like what would have Michelangelo created with the internet, or would he have even been prominent at the time? Would other loosely based people around that time have had an access to like become greater individuals?
You know what's crazy is I don't even know if it would change anything.
I think it would change everything
in the sense that like I think of time as like it's forever going. Even though like I don't really believe that it will forever go on. Yeah. But just in the sense that like even though you had like the Michelangelos and you know the Leonardo da Vinci's and Albert Einstein's,
the greats.
Yeah. I think there's still like that intelligence is in somebody else just in the world now, and if they can't like,
I get what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, I don't think
there's always going to be a genius around.
Right.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
I don't know if those geniuses would make any more of a difference now. Like I think going into the future it would look the same. Like going into our future, you know, in 2034, whatever. I think if Albert Einstein had his hands on this, it'd be the same thing that's going to happen in 2034 for us, but in his time, it'd be like 1960. You get what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying.
The numbers are different, but I don't know if it's much faster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So who are the Michelangelos, the Leonardo da Vinci's, and Albert Einsteins of our generation? I mean, right now, who are those people?
You have like Steve Jobs was amazing because he's revolutionary for making that. You have the Wiz.
Was he the no? Well, what about Bill Gates? Was it Bill Gates or Steve Jobs that sparked this revolution?
Well, you have Steve Jobs. I mean, Bill Gates sparked the internet. The internet was not Steve Jobs, excuse me, Bill Gates. Bill Gates was like...
Well, Bill Gates was the
Microsoft creator.
Yeah. But he was he the one that did the internet?
No, but he was the one who... He didn't
it accessible?
He just made it like a need. Like now it's a need. You need it.
A daily,
you need
like...
to use it. Right,
okay.
You need to use it. And not like he's forcing you to use it, but... Oh, here's this thing, the internet. It's a great tool to use this. You know, in the same sense that like our phones are a great tool to access social media. You know, we're not using it in the sense that like, oh, we need social media, but everybody else accesses it using a phone, so we're going to use it. I mean, how often do you go on Instagram on your computer? Rare.
Once every month. Every month. But I'm playing around with like different features that I can access to like do different things
through the desktop.
Exactly.
Specifically. But it was tailored for just a phone.
True.
In the same sense.
And now it's probably the biggest social media.
Right. And so in the same sense, I think Bill Gates, I keep saying Steve Jobs, Bill Gates uses the internet. I believe so. I'm not exactly sure. Fact check me if you know. If you know, send us, let us know, because I love knowing new shit. I mean, it's interesting to learn new shit. So, but yeah, I believe it was Bill Gates who really sparked the internet craze. Because the internet had always existed. I mean, it existed in the 80s, but it was only used for, like,
well, it hadn't even popped off. Like, there wasn't that much vision behind it, you know?
There was, like, the Ethernet, not the Ethernet, the intranet, which was before the internet.
Okay. I don't know anything about this.
Because of school. And I had to take an operating and networking class, and it was talking about the history of the internet. And there was intranet, which was just between... like
certain networks,
government computers. It was just, it wasn't linked between all computers. It wasn't something that you can go onto.
So there wasn't that infrastructure built to.
It was literally built between our two computers. That's it.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. Intranet between just our two, and it was like, okay, you can go and see what's on here, and if he sends you something on a message, then you can get that. That was about it. It was about message passing. That's pretty much it. Not like global information. It wasn't an information base yet by any means, and it wasn't seen like that. It was just like, okay, I have a computer in one location, I want to send something to another location, how can I do that efficiently? So was born the intranet.
It's crazy to see how we've progressed from having to use wired networks, because the idea was that all this information was connected literally through nets of wires, correct?
Right.
But now it's wireless, and that's insane. That blows my mind.
Which is crazy. I mean, now we have Wi-Fi, which is crazy, and then you have Bluetooth.
And LTE.
LTE, which is just cellular data connection. Dude, have you heard of a Li-Fi?
Li-Fi?
Yeah, so Li-Fi is a wireless communication technology that uses the infrared and visible light spectrum for high-speed data communication.
Oh my gosh,
that's the future.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a committee. There's a committee that's in charge of making sure that technology progresses. Like they're in charge of making sure when and where this happens. So somewhere along the lines, there was like 3G. Remember, 3G was like the first service, right? So they need to build infrastructure to make sure that this moves on forward. So what are we on right now? LTE.
We're on LTE.
So there's gonna be like an LTE 2.0 or something.
There's like 5G LTE,
and they're already it already exists. There's just like not the infrastructure or like the machine to make
ready for it yet. Like
exactly.
The world isn't ready for it yet, so we got to make sure the world's on
par
with this. Right, exactly. And
which
then we can release it.
The next level of our technology are like where we're going with this like revolution is even faster.
That's what's crazy. I think
even faster.
I think that's the craziest thing is that it's not.
We're not capped out.
No, I can't see an end to it, and I think
there never will be. Technology is always getting better.
I think until something else comes along and completely changes the game, it will always be just trying to make things faster. How can we make things faster?
How incredible is that like we've realized that as a generation now is that like there's no cap. We can always move forward.
Cap.
Yeah, legit, no cap. Like, what are the levels and boundaries we can push to get better? You know, like it used to be like we're in my opinion fairly complacent as a people. Absolutely. You know, like the entire world like okay, cool, that's cool. But after the internet happened, like everyone's pushing forward to see like how we can get forward.
They're pushing the envelope, pushing the limit as much as possible, which is crazy. It's insane. Yeah, this Li-Fi thing is crazy. 5G technology, which is insane. And then even TVs, bro. TVs. I remember watching like the big like black box TV.
Yeah.
Like the big back of it, and
I used to have one right there. Yeah,
I remember you have it in the room. You play some Call of Duty and shit. But yeah, I had one in my living room, and I would watch like basketball on it and just thinking like, oh, this is it. Like this is cool. You know, I can see everybody, and then you get like HD, and you're like, oh.
And now you get fucking VR,
dude. 4K VR,
4K VR,
3D TV.
Yeah,
like
you're immersed. You're in your house. You're in the TV.
It's insane, and it's the span of. I mean, we're not even 30. Like, I mean, we're not even half of 20. I mean, we're past 20, but in the mid 20s, we're not.
That's insane.
Which
that
is crazy.
Is insane.
This is over a decade.
Dude, video games alone have improved drastically over time. In our generation, we've seen it.
I played the new Mortal Kombat. That shit is so dope.
Yeah,
check it out. Definitely check it out.
Yeah,
it's a dope game. But the graphics from the old Mortal Kombat to now,
hell
you're
yeah,
literally stabbing somebody else. It looks like you're fucking playing a movie.
Well, like, VR alone, I think it's hilarious watching those videos of people who are immersed in the game.
Yeah.
And like something happens or they fall in real life, which is the funniest thing.
Because you're so immersed in it.
It's so real.
There's some that are like terrible. There's some VRs that are terrible. Of course, we're still working on. But now, I'm sure even now, which that was a year ago, I'm sure now those games are just insane.
Yeah.
That's the thing is over the span of a year, technology just booms like no other. It's insane. It's crazy. Back to the question you said, who are the what was it?
Our Leonardo, Da Vinci's, Michelangelo's, and
the geniuses.
Who are the geniuses of our
I think
generation?
Another one is Elon Musk.
Agreed. I think he is. I think he is the
three
like
companies made them
all incredible
billion-dollar companies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, aside from the money alone, but the idea that they promote and what they stand, like, in what direction he's taking it.
Too. They're not very complex ideas, and I think that's the brilliance of people.
What's his third one? Boring?
PayPal. So he has PayPal, Tesla.
PayPal is 4. Because Boring, his tunnel one, that just hasn't popped off yet. He's working on it.
Yeah, he's working on it. That will definitely. I mean, the dude's King Midas. Anything he touches turns to gold. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. But I don't know. I can't even think.
I think he has a fit too. It's more low key.
He just keeps going.
Yeah.
Have you seen his interview with Joe Rogan? Did I have.
Show you it? He smokes weed on it.
And Joe Rogan asked him the question, like how does it feel to be like that? You know, like you're the fucking guy.
Yeah.
You are the guy. Like when you walk in the room,
he is the Albert Einstein.
Everybody's trying to talk to you.
Yeah.
No matter what it is. Like, I'm going to talk to you about my dog because I just want to say that I talked to Elon Musk. I think that's another thing is clout. Clout is interesting nowadays.
Okay.
Clout is very interesting. But
well, there's metrics for clout now. How many people follow you on Instagram is your clout ratio, you know?
Is your clout.
Yeah.
Who do you know? How do you know them is through Instagram. And even how do you know them doesn't even matter. I mean, I can know you just on Instagram. Yeah. I'll be good.
Yeah.
Like, if Elon Musk followed me, me, it's a wrap. I will have 1 million followers by the end of the night.
Yep.
That's just the way the world works.
If you communicated with Elon on Twitter, and if he wanted to, and you're just talking back and forth, everyone's going to jump in and want to talk to you. Clout.
Yeah. Who is this guy? Why is he talking to Elon Musk?
And Elon Musk can fucking fuck around if he wants to and just fuck with and he does. It's insane.
And it works.
Yeah.
And those people blow up.
Yep.
And they're nobodies. And then the next day they're somebody.
Yep.
Just because he talked to them.
Yeah.
Because he just felt like it. Why not? I'm just gonna go make somebody's day.
I don't know anyone else who's on par with Elon.
I don't know. At this time, I don't.
I mean, emotionally, I want to say Kanye, but nonetheless, it doesn't even compare.
No,
you know?
Not in the sense that like he's really doing something for the world.
Yeah.
I mean, Kanye's great, making great music, and he's a character, not a character, but a public figure.
Yeah.
But he's not making huge contributions to society like Elon Musk is.
Elon's a futurist. He's way ahead of our time.
And there's a bunch of people that we don't even know, I'm sure of, that are doing huge contributions.
Do you think these people will pop up like after we die?
I definitely think
it's
so.
Just like they only arise and their fame and glory only comes after they've passed?
I definitely think so because like Nikola Tesla, he didn't pop up until later, and he had the same ideas.
What about what's his name? Facebook guy. Mark Zuckerberg. I think he's up there.
He was the one who made social media. That was like,
you know what? I'll give him a ticket. I think he is Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, all that jazz.
He's like
a great
Raphael, which is an artist, but not too many people.
Well,
know
okay,
Raphael,
these guys are modern artists.
Yeah,
like think about the creativity and like the work that comes in.
We probably should put Kanye in it because he's just an artist in a different field.
It is, yeah. When we put Bill Gates is in there too,
right?
When we put Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon, and Mark Zuckerberg, they're just our modern technological creative, because what they did was code. What they did was figure out the hardware and how it actually works. They got creative and painted this like code that ended up benefiting the entire world, you know? It's a masterpiece. Exactly. They created a masterpiece.
It's crazy. It's crazy to see it. It's crazy to live through it. It's crazy to watch it as we're passing by too, because there's some things that like had happened before that we weren't really like. I mean, the internet, like we were aware of it, but we didn't like know it happened until it already happened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so like now it's happened, and we're kind of like, oh, okay, we're passing by, and as you pass to our left, we're seeing the internet being formed. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so it's interesting. It's interesting to see what's coming up next and what's going on.
It's weird. I think my biggest thing is seeing how normal we get to the internet. You know, like it like. from one point to another, like we literally went from like not being really secretive and like keeping all our information to ourselves to sharing everything goes on the internet.
Dude, my dad is like the prime person who does not share shit. Like he's like, no, I'm not sharing anything. Like doesn't want a Facebook account, doesn't want, like barely uses his phone just to call.
Oh, now what's his rationality behind that?
The government's listening.
They're still listening. You think just because they don't post?
I tell him that all the time. Yeah. He has an Apple Watch, and I'm like, Dad, they're like literally on your wrist. Like, if they wanted your fucking blood pressure, they could get it now. They know it. Like, they got everything on you.
Well, it's funny that we touch on this, but the thing I tell my dad, because he'll go to post something on Instagram and he'll get worried. He'll think, oh, should I post it? Yeah. What do you think? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Dad, I promise you one thing. No one gives a shit.
Nobody gives a shit.
And that's the thing about the internet. No one cares. Everyone's so in their head that like they
are they
think
in their head, or are they more about themselves?
Probably self-conscious, more about themselves. Yeah, they worry about the image that they put on the internet, like worried about what people think. But at the end of the day, I've posted stuff where I'm like, should I post this? And then it's the ones I get greatest feedback on. So I don't know.
I think what it is people like people who don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
people like when people do things regardless of what other people think. So if you're posting something that's like, you're just posting something that somebody else wouldn't post, they're gonna like it because that's what they instinctively want to post, but they won't do it because they're too afraid.
I have posted stuff like that. Like it was weird.
You post things.
I try to. I do it on purpose.
Yeah, it works.
Well, I'm not doing it to get like following or anything. But I remember coming home one day and I was like, what's something I would never post, but like I'll post it because I would never post it, you know? So I went into the mirror and I took a selfie and it was just like a random, I didn't look good. It was whatever. Like I felt it was bland, bland as fuck. And I was like, I would never post it. And for that reason, I am going to post it, you know? Yeah. And it's just like trying to push those boundaries. And it's gotten me more comfortable to like, I don't care. Like it's my social media. Yeah. You think I give a fuck? It's me. If you have a problem with it, fucking unfollow me. I'll stay with 20 followers and we're gonna fucking party.
I'm gonna lose you, but I'm probably gonna get 2 other followers.
Exactly. Like, and that's the thing is that there's more eyes on like doing this like obscure like side of things that will get more attention as opposed to being generic and keeping it on the same flow.
You think that's gonna benefit like the next generation? Like that just being like comfortable.
I think there's a cap. I think there's a cap because like there's these YouTubers who have been pushing the boundaries of like, what can I get away with, you know? And to be more specific as to who I'm talking about is like Logan Paul, you know? And who's that makeup guy? Jeffrey, whatever.
Oh, yeah, the one who just got in big trouble?
Exactly. Yeah. Like these are the ones pushing the boundaries. So they're the ones setting the limits. And another one is Tyler, for example, who's out there with the blonde wig. Yeah. Wait, I don't care about that. No one's thought twice about him wearing a blonde wig. No one's talking about it because the attention. Exactly. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care because the attention's on the album right now.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, definitely. I think it's just crazy. I mean, if you look at it, because you can be social media and the internet and this mass connection with the world and everybody's eyes being able to be on you per se, has kind of caused some torn thoughts as to if it's a benefit or if it's like a negative thing, as a positive or negative, because you have like. Then you have people who are more self-conscious and they get negative reactions and they're not really able to handle it. And so they do things that they probably shouldn't do. And unfortunately decide that they're not worth being on this planet anymore, which I don't believe that anybody should think that. But it's very easy when you have a lot of people and a lot of commentators. You know, the whole world is now commentating your life, and so some people are able to take that and some people aren't, so it's almost I don't know what's going to happen, because it's like, is there going to be a way to monitor that? Is there going to be a way to
that's the negative side effect of what we've gone through, you know, like there's positive and negative.
Absolutely. There's always
like
aspects.
Exactly,
because 2 Chainz says it. He says there's always going to be consequences to the things you do, whether they're good or bad. There's always going to be consequences. And so whether it's a good post and that people love it or whatever, or it's a bad post and people are just, I mean, the thing is there's haters, and if you guys didn't see our story, fuck the haters.
Yeah, fuck the haters.
I mean, you gotta have haters.
Well,
if you don't have haters, you're not doing something right.
Exactly. Grant Cardone talks about that. He talks about loving his haters because you can't please everyone, and
No.
some people are going to be pissed off for any reason. They just find reasons to get mad, you know.
Yeah.
So like, for example, I'm pretty sure someone's mad that I'm posting about Cold Hour so much.
Right.
You think I give a fuck?
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
Like,
this is what I'm doing.
exactly.
Like, this is what I've got going on my life, and that's the
Exactly.
purpose of social media, you know, like to
Right,
promote
to
and let
promote
people know
yourself.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know.
If you're not promoting yourself, like that, you got to promote yourself.
Exactly.
End
Well,
of
I
the
mean,
day.
you have to promote yourself in the right direction. Like, what are you trying to do with your life?
Right.
You know, like what impact are you having that's a positive effect in other people?
Right.
You know, and
Right.
that's the direction I'm trying to take it. You know, like the way I see this podcast is like, I'm out here trying to push something that I believe in, and it's like, it's fun, it's
Right.
enjoyable.
Exactly.
Like it's a good service that I hope people enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not hurting anybody.
You know?
I'm not offending anybody.
Exactly.
I'm not really doing anything to anybody. So like, fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. So it aside from me providing the service, I hope it gives people the hope and like confidence to do something that they believe in
Exactly.
themselves.
Exactly.
You know?
Just go for it.
Yeah, like don't
At the
think
end of the
twice
day.
about it. Fuck the haters. You know,
Yeah.
move on. Do what
There
do
will
you.
be haters. There will be
There will
people who hate on you. There will be people who like tell you not to do it, who
Mhm.
discourage you from
Mhm.
doing it. But
And it's the people closest to you, which is crazy. Like, dude, it's
All the
funny.
time.
It's so funny because I have certain members of my family who hate on little things that I do.
all the time.
And it's so funny because it doesn't frustrate me. It used to be like, what?
Right.
Why would you think that? But
Yeah.
now it fires me up.
yeah.
I'm like, just wait.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
it makes me laugh.
Exactly.
It's funny.
I think that's a big thing that I struggle with is like wanting everybody to like me,
Mhm.
wanting everybody to I want everybody's approval when I
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
This has been one way that like I'm trying to step out of that comfort
Mhm.
zone and get comfortable with, you know, if you don't like it, so what? Like fuck
But
off.
it feels better, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. You
It's-
feel more free. You
Yeah.
feel like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what I want to do. Like, regardless of what everybody else
Well,
wants to do.
aside from this is what I want to do, it's who I am.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing now is like self-discovery is trying to figure out who I am. And this is one way that I'm doing it, and trying to figure out what I like to do, what I enjoy doing, and what I want to be a part of to come.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Our generation's taught us a lot. I think they teach us more and more every time we think about them and think about the contributions that others
Mhm.
have made in the past and what we can do in our own time. I think that kind of gets wrapped up in a lot of people's head is what we
Mhm.
can do in our own time. But just living through it, I think, is important. Living through it is credit to those who have done it before and credit to those who are making a difference in the world. And
Mhm.
so doing that is a big thing. So don't be afraid to live through our generation. There's a lot that is offered and a lot to come, and to see what comes after will be interesting for sure.
I get this, I forgot who I was talking to, but they brought up that like that they don't really enjoy our generation and wish to have lived through like the 20s and
Yeah.
like an era before the internet, you know?
Right.
But I tend to disagree. I think the time we're living now and the generation we're in, and to be more specific, living in the United States
Yeah.
is the greatest time the world has ever seen.
What a time to be alive.
We're living through like the longest peace period the world has ever known.
Yeah.
We have access to do whatever the hell we want. You know, like we have every opportunity at our
Absolutely.
disposal, which is insane. I think it's beautiful. It's incredible. I love the position and like opportunity that is at my hands.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people take advantage of it. Like they're too lazy to like really reach out and grab it. But it's insane. In the 20s, forget about it.
Yeah.
You know, like what influence and what like ability did you have to like
Right.
make your dreams come to fruition?
Yeah.
You know, you were just subject to like whatever like life really threw at
Exactly.
you. You know,
Exactly. I think a lot of people want to live in the 20s just because of the style, but
exactly.
you bring
But
up a good point.
think about the wars and shit going on at the time.
Yeah.
You know, like you're more worried about real life problems
Hell
at the
yeah.
time than you are now.
Yeah.
You know, like people are caught up with stupid little problems because they like to bring up like negativity and like drama into their lives. You
Right.
know, but there's too much positivity
Yeah.
going around.
Peace, love, and positivity.
Exactly,
going
we're living through that era. You know,
on. Definitely.
like
Definitely.
our biggest problems are fucking SeaWorld and the fucking bears in a circus.
Yeah.
You know, we're not out here trying to fight off fucking commies right
No.
now, which would suck. And everyone's
That
like,
would
oh,
suck.
but for the music, I want to go to Woodstock and
Right.
see Led Zeppelin.
Like, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd
Yeah,
be cool.
amazing.
But
But we got
there's
Coachella,
a bunch of shit
EDC.
going on now.
We got fucking music festivals every week.
Exactly.
Music is, I wouldn't say it's at the best peak of our time, but nonetheless, it's incredible. We have new albums dropping on a weekly basis. Every week, for sure.
Every week.
And we can see these artists perform whenever, exactly.
It's crazy.
We've gotten, in my opinion, music's more accessible and better at our point. And we only pushed that boundary. Yeah. And I think we're on the brink of starting to get really good music back.
Definitely.
It's around the corner.
It is.
Yeah.
What a good point. That's a good
right?
point. That was a great point.
Right?
It's a good point to leave it at.
It's our generation's the shit.
Yeah.
And I tend to disagree with anyone.
Fuck yeah.
Because they're just looking at a negative aspect and trying to justify why they're not enjoying their life now.
Glass half empty or
exactly.
glass half
a
full.
Pessimistic view towards life.
Definitely.
Realize the opportunity and what you really have at our disposal.
Appreciate it.
As opposed to seeing what's in the past and why you would enjoy yourself in the past. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we like to thank you for listening in. This was our take on the generation that we're living through. Definitely a time to be alive in.
GenZ,
iGen. Or iGen. We appreciate it. Let us know what you think about it. Give us your comments. Give us some questions. We want to run with it. We'll keep talking about it if you want to keep talking about it. Let us know.
We can do an alpha gen prediction onto the future type of thing.
Yeah, let us know. But yeah, what a time to be alive in. Appreciate the generation that we're living in. And keep going on with the rest of your day.
Hell yeah.
This is the Cold Hour.